The Dhāraṇī giving refuge to the Preta Flaming Mouth. At one time, the Bhagavan was teaching the Dharma to an entourage consisting of the monastic Sangha and a limitless number of bodhisattvas at the monastic hermitage in Kapilavastu. At that time, the Venerable Nanda remained at a distance, having been contemplating and memorizing the Dharma. That evening, in the latter part of the night, a very frightening preta called Flaming Mouth, with a hideous appearance, frail, withered, with flames coming from its mouth, its throat as thin as a needle, with dishevelled hair, with long, sharp fingernails and teeth, came before Nanda and said to Nanda, "You, 7 days from now, your life will end, and you will be reborn in the realm of the pretas." Having heard what the preta had said, Nanda became very afraid, and responded to the preta, saying, "What can be done about being reborn in the realm of the pretas when my time here is finished, so that I might be liberated from this impending suffering?" The preta replied to Nanda, "If tomorrow you make barley offerings to pretas as numerous as the 100,000 million billion grains of sand of the river Ganges, and offer a Magadhan measure of food to each and every one of the many hundreds of thousands of Brahmins and Rishis, and make offerings for my sake to the 3 jewels, then your life will be long, and I will be freed from the sufferings of the Preta realm, and will be reborn as a god in the upper realms." To see that Preta called Flaming Mouth, hideous, frail, and withered, with flames coming from its mouth, its throat as thin as a needle, with dishevelled hair and long, sharp fingernails and teeth, and to hear such unpleasant and unwelcome words, was enough to send shivers through Nanda's body, and in terror he then rose from where he had been sitting, and quickly went to where the Bhagavan was. Arriving in the presence of the Bhagavan, Nanda fell before him, touching the 5 points of his body to the ground. Then, after prostrating with his head to the feet of the Bhagavan, with his body trembling, he implored the Bhagavan, "I beseech you to grant me final relief from being tormented by this suffering." He continued, "I was off at a distance, having been contemplating the Dharma, when a preta called Flaming Mouth said to me, 'You, 7 days from now, your life will end, and you will be reborn in the realm of the pretas.' When I asked, 'What can be done about this, so that I might be liberated from the sufferings of the preta realm?' the preta said to me, 'If you make barley offerings to pretas as numerous as the 100,000 million billion grains of sand of the river Ganges, and offer the finest food to each and every one of the many hundreds of thousands of Brahmins and Rishis and so on, then your life will be long. If I am to provide this, Bhagavan, how can I prepare so much food for so many pretas, Brahmins, Rishis, and so forth?' 'Do not let this frighten you,' said the Bhagavan to Nanda. 'I have a method by which you may prepare food and many barleys for pretas as numerous as the 100,000 million billion grains of sand of the river Ganges, and Brahmins and Rishis and so forth. So do not let this upset you.' Then the Bhagavan said to Nanda, 'I have a mantra Dhāraṇī called the power of all-conquering rays of light, by which all are brought under the influence of immeasurable radiance. When anyone utters this Dhāraṇī, there will be food and the finest barley for pretas as numerous as the 100,000 million billion grains of sand of the river Ganges, and the many Brahmins and Rishis and so forth, so that each and every one of those pretas and others will receive 7 portions of food, weighed according to Magadhan measures. Nanda, when I was a Brahmin in a previous life, I heard this Dhāraṇī from the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, and the Tathagata called Vashavati Guna, and by the power of that Dhāraṇī, countless pretas and many rishis were each given barley and food, and those that had been born in the realm of the pretas were liberated from their suffering and were reborn as gods in the upper realms. Nanda, remember this Dhāraṇī. It will increase your merit and even your lifespan when you are reborn. The Bhagavan then uttered this mantra Dhāraṇī to Nanda. Nama Sava Tathagata Valokite Om Sambara Sambara Hom. The Bhagavan said to Nanda, any son of good family or daughter of good family who wishes to lengthen their life, or improve and increase their merit, or who wishes to quickly bring to completion the perfection of giving, should recite this Dhāraṇī constantly in the morning, or even at all times. Then their life will not be cut short. Pour clean water into a clean vessel, then add a little bit of cooked grains, meal or pastry, and so forth. Then place your right hand over the top of the vessel, and having sanctified it 7 times with this Dhāraṇī, you should invoke the names of the 4 Tathagatas as follows. Homage to the Tathagata Prabhutaratna. By the blessings from invoking the name of the Tathagata Prabhutaratna, may all those pretas overcome the non-virtuous karma of having been miserly in their numerous previous lives, and may their collection of merit be brought to completion. Homage to the Tathagata Surupa. By the blessings from invoking the name of the Tathagata Surupa, may those many pretas overcome their hideous appearance, and may they take on a marvelous form and attributes. Homage to the Tathagata Vipulagatra. By the blessings from invoking the name of the Tathagata Vipulagatra, may the thirst of many pretas be dispelled, and may they be satisfied. May they be led to places where offerings are being made, and may they be allowed to eat to their satisfaction. Homage to the Tathagata Abhayakara. By the blessings from invoking the name of the Tathagata Abhayakara, may all be free from all the fears of the many pretas, and may all the realms of the pretas be pacified. The Bhagavan told Nanda, sons of good family and so on, after the blessing of having invoked the names of these 4 Tathagatas, should snap their fingers 3 times. Then, taking the barley vessel in their outstretched arms, they should pour it out onto clean ground. If one makes barley offering in this manner, each and every one of the pretas who arrive from the 4 directions, as numerous as the 100,000 million billion grains of sand of the river Ganges, will receive 7 portions weighed according to Magadhan measures. These pretas will be led to and allowed to eat as much food as they wish, and will leave the realms of the pretas behind and be reborn as gods in the upper realms. Nanda, if any monks or nuns, or male or female lay devotees, when giving an offering to a preta, consistently sanctify the food by means of this Dhāraṇī, they will bring immeasurable merit to completion. As that merit is indistinguishable from the merit of making offerings to 100,000 million billion Buddhas, they will have long life, merit, and lustre, be born with strength that will only increase, complete roots of virtue, no non-human yakshas, rakshasas, or horrible pretas will be able to endanger them or inflict harm on them, and they will have an immeasurable radiance. Someone who wishes to make offerings to Brahmins and rishis should fill a single vessel with the purest food, recite this Dhāraṇī mantra 7 times, and scatter the food in a clean river. That will cause it to become the most supreme foodstuffs of the gods. The Brahmins and Rishis, as they receive the food infused with mantra, will delight in each and every previous individual offering that has been offered with mantra, and will ripen the merit of those roots of virtue that have been cultivated, each of them in accord with the others, will all at the same time make the prayer, "May this person have long life, vitality, and power, and may they be comfortable and happy." Moreover, that person, in terms of seeing and hearing in accordance with these intentions, will be completely pure, have unmistaken knowledge, and living the superior life of a Brahmacharya, will achieve complete perfection. Furthermore, as the merit would be like that of making offerings to Buddha Bhagavans equal in number to the 100,000 million billion grains of sand of the river Ganges, all the proponents of false teachings will be unable to do them harm. Any monk or nun or male or female lay devotee who wishes to make offerings to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha should recite this mantra Dhāraṇī 21 times over incense, flowers, and the best of food, and then offer them to the three jewels. The food offered by a son of good family or a daughter of good family, having become the foodstuffs of the gods, will become offerings to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha in all the worldly realms of the 10 directions. Those who make such offerings will be endowed with the merit of praising, praying, and rejoicing, and will be constantly praised and watched over by the Buddha Bhagavans. They will be constantly guarded and protected by many gods, and the perfection of giving will be brought to completion. Nanda, commit this to memory, in accordance with the Dharma. In order that all sentient beings may see and hear it, you should teach it extensively, and you will obtain immeasurable merit. This completes the Dhāraṇī, giving refuge to the Preta Flaming Mouth.